Happening tonight in Milford. Residents there expected to speak out against flock cameras in town. This comes as Milford police are also still looking to find whoever vandalized some of the cameras last month. Amanda Callahan is your reporter in Milford. She is learning more for us tonight. Amanda?
Well, Mark, the Board of Aldermen meeting is the first since a few of those cameras here in town were reportedly vandalized. Now, flock cameras have been highly criticized by some residents, believing that they're a breach of privacy, but they've also been a helpful tool, especially for police departments when it comes to their investigations. Now, flock cameras are different than what speed cameras are doing. They're used as automatic license plate readers, logging every plate that drives by, including the make and model of your car. There's about 24 around Milford here, and a few of them were vandalized in mid-July, while police are still working to track down who's responsible. Data collected by the cameras is only stored for 30 days, with a focus on finding stolen vehicles, missing people, and criminal suspects. The group Milford Republicans is calling for flock cameras to be taken down, saying they breach residents' privacy. Now, they're calling for people to come out here tonight and speak before the Board of Aldermen and voice their concerns. Now, while flock cameras aren't specifically listed on the meeting agenda for tonight, we are expected that they will be brought up during public comment in tonight's meeting. That will start at 7:30. We'll be inside and bring you the latest updates tonight on Eyewitness News at 11. Report live in Milford, Amanda Callahan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Also